Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Beth Talks, where I share some of the things that help shape my life for the better. Today, I'm eager to share some research with you that might help you understand why we do some of the things we do and why we accept some of the things that we accept without even really realizing it. And we'll dive deep into that. But before I do, I wanted to give you a little update on my health since recovering from the completion of my chemotherapy a few months ago. Let's see, it's July 19th. It's been a little bit more than 3 months now. And last episode, I talked about the effects alcohol has on um, those who have been diagnosed with cancer in the past or have gone through chemotherapy. And I just want to preface this episode with the fact that I am not an expert in anything. I don't give medical advice. I don't give psychological advice. Just wanted to put that there. Everything that is on this video is just my research and my opinions alone. As always, I'm grateful for you to be here. Please don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. See you soon. Here we go. And the situation with Trump last week getting hit was a shock to everyone, but one that maybe we could see coming with the way things are heated up politically. So, it's easy to get sucked up into all that fear-mongering, misinformation, and just craziness. So I just want to bring everybody's attention back to ourselves. There are things going on with the government and around the world that we can't control individually, but we can control our health. We can control the things that we buy. We can control how our mindset is and how we can protect our mindset. Fear is the number one way to control mass hysteria. So don't get caught up in the fear and the worry and the stress, what's going to happen and what is happening. I try not to get so involved with all that political stuff right now. Just focus on ourselves. How can we be self-sufficient when it comes to money? How can we be more proactive when it comes to our health? How can we protect our families and the generations to come from some of the harmful things that we've been exposed to in this lifetime? How can we set things up so it's a better world for the next generation? Every day, millions of Americans shop for groceries, household cleaners, personal care items, trusting that if a product is for sale in the grocery store, it must be safe, right? But how accurate is this belief? So I'm going to unpack that and get behind the reality of product safety and what you're not being told. What you're being marketed is not necessarily the truth. And I've been involved in the health and wellness sector for a long time, even before my cancer diagnosis this second time. So I'm very familiar with people's reaction when it comes to bringing things to the attention of the public that they don't necessarily have awareness of. First, let's take a look at the regulations. The FDA and EPA are the main US agencies regulating products that affect our health. But did you know that the FDA only reviews about 20% of the products hitting the market? And so while you might be thinking all the ingredients must be proven safe before being sold in the store, the reality is much, much different. Many chemicals are presumed safe based on outdated standards for limiting testing. And let's just consider chemicals like PBA found in plastics and certain flame retardants like furniture. Both have been linked to health issues, yet they were once regulars on store shelves. We are marketed to on a day-to-day basis and lied to, but marketing plays this huge role in your belief system. Products are often advertised with focus on their benefits, glossing over potential risks, they kind of skate through that. It's on the label. They have to put warnings on labels for legalities because they don't want to be sued if there's a risk. So they put it on the label, but who has time to read all the labels in the grocery store? So this shaping of public perception creates a false sense of security about the safety of these products. I know I'm getting on a soapbox here, but this is super important. And there's a lot of people just not listening. So I did this for you. Let's not forget the influences of industry on regulation. Lobbying efforts can delay or weaken safety regulations, keeping potentially harmful products available to unsuspecting consumers. So what can you do? Number one, always research products before you buy them. Look for trusted certifications, read ingredients lists, stay informed about recalls and safety warnings. And remember, being a conscious consumer means questioning what we're told and making informal choices. All right. Who in the world has time to do all the research on everything you buy and look at every single label? It's insane. So here's what I propose. I have a manufacturer right here in the US that manufactures everything here. Their jobs are here, their products are safe, and you know that you could trust them. This is where I shop, people, online. When I go to the grocery store, I shop on the outer ridges, getting all my perishable goods, paper goods on the outside. The inner aisles, that's where things get sticky. So all that stuff in the middle, I buy from my manufacturer right here in the US so that I know that I'm getting things that are safe. So I'm going to make a point here that we don't have any other planet to go to, right? So what we do to our bodies, we do to our planet. And the things that we buy makes a difference to our bodies and our planet. And when we come together in agreement with the things that we will or will not accept in society, that's when change happens. But when you ignore the signs and ignore the flags and say, well, if it's in the grocery store and it's cheaper, then it's probably okay. I'm just going to deal with it. This attitude is what got all of us in the situation we're in. And I'm going to dive into this. Hold on. So this chart you're looking at here shows the increase in cancer. And over time, you see it's a problem that's getting worse, not better. So with all the knowledge and technology and pharmaceutical products that we have, people are surviving cancer more, but they're getting cancer more. So what is this going to look like for the next generation that comes along? So if we don't make some significant changes now, then down the road, this is only going to be a situation that gets worse. So check this out. All this political mess that's going on. We're going to go to the polls and we're going to vote for the guy that's supposed to lead our country, right? Well, our votes don't start at the polls. Our votes start with our wallets. And what you buy on a day-to-day basis says, this is what I accept to be okay. And is it acceptable for cancer rates to be going up? It's not. So you just get comfortable. You just repeat patterns because you don't know any other way. So my question when I started doing research was like, why do people want to just continue buying things that they know are not good for them, even though there are better alternatives with a better price? This baffles me, why people don't accept change. Well, there's a good reason for that. And I don't know if any of you maybe comment below. Let me know, have you watched this movie, MK Ultra? This was a documentary movie about how the CIA was doing mind control experiments. Project MK Ultra was an illegal human experiment program designed and undertaken by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used during interrogations to weaken people and force confessions through brainwashing and psychological torture. Now, this is an actual documentation, proof of the CIA's involvement in mind control. And you can not believe me, please do your own research. This is on CIA.gov. This is not things that I'm making up. This is research I'm sharing with you. So please do your own research. And let's take a look at this document a little deeper. So in this document, we see that what's the rationale behind this mind control experiment the CIA was doing to people? Well, the memo doesn't say, but it's apparent that learning how to make people do things they normally wouldn't do by controlling their minds is valuable if you're in the espionage business. This led me to more questions. Now, when Trump got shot, he was a 20-year-old kid, right? And my thought was, like, what could have happened to this 20-year-old kid that he would do something like this? And it started making me wonder and think, and just researching the situation. I wanted to share a couple of things here I'm going to point out, because there was an ad that was circulating, and I think it's been taken down now, I'm not sure, but this kid was one of the star students in one of the schools, a Black Rock school. So why am I bringing this up? Black Rock. Just do a little research there, and you stumble onto a whole deep dive of things that you don't want to know. Actually, when I was in Iraq, Black Rock was one of the subcontracted companies that was over there helping with logistics, that kind of thing. Anytime there's a war, there's usually Black Rock is around there somewhere. Anyways, so this kid went to Black Rock school. And he was quiet, he was isolated. Yes, all these things, all these traits that are common with shooters. They're loners, they're isolated. Well, that means they could possibly be easily mind manipulated. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just raising some questions here. And please write in the comments here your thoughts, because I'm just bringing up some questions that I have. Now, I'm not assuming anything. I'm certainly not an investigator or a super researcher or anything like that. But when things are kind of linked together, it makes you question how this kind of comes together, and you can make your own thoughts. Maybe I'm reaching too far. Maybe, I don't know. Just tell me what you think. But BlackRock and Biden, how are they linked? I don't know. It's a question. So check out this article. Tell me what you think. Now, this is a really interesting one that I found. This is actually a Supreme Court documentation in regards to the mass shooter at Fort Lauderdale Airport. And they were questioning mind control as it relates to a mass shooter. And if you look this document up, you're going to be kind of shocked, I think, here, because, victims of mind control. And this was actually found to be true by the Supreme Court. So let's look at this a little closer here. So some of the questions in this case were him and his brother victims of U.S.-sponsored mind control technologies who suffered incidents of violations of civil constitutional rights and non-consensual experimentation paramount to torture? The answer to that question is yes. And the next question, did pro se petitioner stand 3 Caterborn fall victim to criminal civil conspiracy while engaging in whistleblowing activities in the CIA International Arms Dealer scandal in '87, which continues today, and now that has manifested to a cover-up and obstruction of justice case in mass proportions? The answer to that question is yes. So I don't know. Give me your thoughts. Some of this is really suspicious. Okay. And one might say, oh, well, that MK Ultra thing, that was back in the 50s and 60s or whatever. That's no longer in practice today. Well, this is an article just in 2022 talking about US covertly experiments mind control on people across continents for decades. No official apology. So that, like, yeah, they're saying, yeah, we do it. We do it all the time. We're not going to apologize for it. So is it right? And are you a victim? That's my question. Let's just take the music industry, for example. How does music control your mind? Well, science has shown listening to music may boost our cognitive functions, potentially relieve symptoms of anxiety and stress, and help us stay focused. Do you think it could work the opposite way as well if used in the wrong hands? So, listening to music increases blood flow in the brain, regions that generate and control emotions. So if it could be used for the good, it certainly can be used for the bad as well. And just like with most things in life, it could be used for good or for bad. The power of influence on music, the human mind and behavior are undeniable on hand. It can contribute to improve mood and help with symptoms of anxiety, depression, while on the other hand, it can also promote aggression, substance use, and stereotyping. Now, my two older children love to listen to the same type of rap music, and I used to listen to it too. Some of the songs are just hype, you can't help but to jam to them, right? But is it really good for us to listen about bitches and gangsters and guns and racism? All that stuff is in the music, so be selective is all I'm saying. Now, this is a point that I know a little something about marketing and your brain. So, this is a National Geographic article stating experts from Brain Games explains how advertising and marketing take advantage of how your brain works. Priming is a phenomenon that works as a simple persuasion technique. Primes are subtle cues that influences people's subconscious attitude and responses. As a result, primes influence decision making by directly influencing people's subconscious thoughts. Priming influences of people's decisions without their even realizing it. So why do we keep buying the same unhealthy crap over and over again? Could be marketing. I don't know. Now, when it comes to marketing, ethics is a big thing. Who is marketing to you should always be a question in your mind. What company is behind the marketing that I'm getting? What are the ethical issues with neuromarketing? Okay, so there is a buying button in the brain that can be used to manipulate and second influence consumer choices. So it's not your fault. You're getting MK Ultra into believing whatever is on the commercials is okay for you to use on your body and give to your kids. It's a lie. It's the biggest lie we've ever been told. Did you know in Europe, they have banned thousands of ingredients from being able to be used in cosmetics and personal care products. Here in the US, there's 2 or 3 dozen. And why is that? Why is the US more toxic than any other country in the world? Europe doesn't even use bleach. We're going to get into that here in just a minute. So as far as cosmetics go, yeah, it's not good. Here's an article. Oh, check it out. Here's another one. 2 specific classes of household chemicals. You could read this. I'm not going to read it all word for word, but the shocking part, the latter found in numerous disinfectants and personal care products have seen increased use since the onset of COVID-19. So it's getting worse and we're getting even more chemicals in our house. What's going on here? All right, so we'll talk about bleach, banned in Europe. Europe doesn't even use any bleach-based products in their stores. Why? Because it's highly toxic. we're going to talk about daycares here in a minute. This is just crazy. Concerns about potential toxicity of bleaching agents. They forbid their use since the 1990s. China and Turkey have also banned them. Why are they still selling this in the US? I don't know. Breathing in bleach over a long period of time can increase your risk of cancer. That's just breathing the fumes. Have you ever used a bleach-based product in your dishwasher or your bathroom? Just saying. We're going to get to daycares in a minute because many of the chemicals concerned, including all these terrible ingredients, linked to the problems with the brain development and reproduction. I have a friend of mine in Charlotte that runs an infertility clinic. She said one of the first things that she recommends to a woman having infertility problems is to get rid of all the cosmetics in your bathroom and stop using bleach-based products in your house. Two of the main fertility killers. So why do we keep buying this stuff? Well, lack of testing and regulations, lack of knowledge of consumers, and they have been known to cause various health issues such as cancer, diabetes, heart disease, birth defects, infertility, and hormone balances, among other issues. Why do we keep doing this? Even some of these labels that you think might be a healthier option, you don't know what kind of chemicals they are because the FDA doesn't even make them list all the ingredients that are in there. So what can we do about it? So let's talk about daycares. I have a friend of mine that has a daycare. I've been trying to talk to her for years about an alternative. What's the first thing you smell when you walk into a daycare? You smell bleach-based cleaning products. Okay, so why is bleach so widely used to sanitize, most often recommended for child care programs? It's not a good idea, but why do they do it? Bleach fumes cause brain damage. That alone should get you convinced that using bleach-based products in a daycare is not something that we should ever be accepting. So yes, of course, there are alternatives. You can make your own cleaners out of baking soda and lime and vinegar and all those natural things. If you want to put together your own stuff, great. If you got time for that, great. But if not, there is a manufacturer that you can trust, has a blanketed promise that none of those harmful chemicals will ever be in anything they manufacture right here in the US, giving US Americans the jobs, giving the US control of what goes in there, and not being sold out to a big pharma, big corporate conglomerate to change the formula. So those are important. It's important to trust where you get your products from. Okay, and even autism has been linked to common household cleaners and a plethora of other psychological disorders. Bleach is linked to bipolar, schizophrenia, all those things. So now, what about your toothpaste? Here's something somebody told me a long time ago. Look at the label on the back of your toothpaste. If there's a warning that says do not swallow, it might not be good for you. And say what you want to say about fluoride, take it or leave it. Fluoride may help strengthen your teeth, but it is killing your brain. So I don't know. I have a friend of mine that has 2 kids, both over 20. They have never had a cavity in their life, and they've never used toothpaste with fluoride in it. I don't know, maybe they just got lucky, or there could be something to it. Our food chain is wasted. A lot of the ultra processed foods associated with higher risk of adverse health outcomes, especially cardiometabolic, common mental disorders, and mortality outcomes. So some of those yummy little healthy snacks that you think are good for you in the grocery store may not so much be good for you after all. And the ingredients, over 10,000 ingredients can be found in cosmetics, and many of them have been linked to various disorders like cancer and developmental and reproductive impairments. Dangerous levels of mercury in skin lightening and anti-aging creams. It gets deep. So, some of those healthy snacks that you get in the grocery store I was talking about a while ago, well, they may claim to be good for you, but the body doesn't know any difference between a sugar-filled fiber bar and a plain old candy bar. So there's that. So back to my question, why are so many people willing to keep buying things that they know are bad for them? Americans, like many consumers worldwide, sometimes continue to purchase products they know may be harmful due to a variety of social, psychological, and economic factors. So here's some of the key reasons, and we're going to go through and unpack these one by one. Convenience and accessibility. Well, if something is convenient, you're going to keep getting it. I get that. So what's more convenient than buying your products online and having them shipped to your front door? That's a lot more convenient than driving to the grocery store and walking around people you don't even like. And yes, I'm going to mention it again, marketing and advertising. So it's very important, especially in today's world, to buy your products, your everyday consumable items, from a manufacturer or someone that you can trust. Trust is hard to come by these days, but it's a lot easier if you know who you're getting your products from. Do you trust Procter and Gamble or Mars or Walmart or any of those big corporate names? Do you trust them? I'm just asking. Cultural norms and habits, those things that we just normally accept because everybody does it and it must be okay, right? Think before you stink. And what I mean by that is just be mindful of what you're consuming, what you're putting into your house. Just having a mindful way of looking at things can help reduce a lot of those risks for you and your family. And think before you stink. I mean, look, it stinks to get cancer. So before you end up with cancer 20 years after using that bathroom cleaner, maybe you kind of get ahead of it and learn a better way. And this one is a no-brainer. In today's world, instant gratification is just as prevalent as money. It is a currency in and of itself. If you're instantly gratified, then you keep doing whatever got you that result. So that instant gratification, sometimes, oh, I'm out of laundry soap, I'm just going to run down the store and grab it instead of going online and shopping for it. A better one. Well, that instant gratification that you're searching for may be costing you more than just money. Last but not least, the number one reason why people really don't want to change their habits and switch to better alternatives is because they think it's going to cost too much. Now, there's a little store called Whole Paycheck or Foods, something like that. Anyways, yeah, it can cost a lot to always buy something organic, plant-based, and safe. If you're going to the grocery store, it's going to cost you more if it has a label on it that says organic. But that's not necessarily true. There are alternatives to this as well. Now, this first image on the left is a tub and towel cleaner. $5.99. My brand tub and towel cleaner is $1.16 per bottle. Okay, and let's see, this Method all-purpose cleaner, $3.99 on sale. My brand, $1.16. Dishwasher pods, my brand, $3.19. In the store the other day, $4.99. Now, I'm not going to harp on this too much longer, but just a couple more examples here. Cascade, another dishwasher pod, $7.99 on sale. Mine, $3.19. Myers Clean Day, it was on sale the other day for $14.99. This is a laundry detergent. Theirs was for 64 loads, which come out to, after $14.99, 23 cents a load. My brand, $6.79 for 96 loads, comes out to 7 cents a load. So which one is more affordable? I don't know. I can't figure that out. Seventh Generation. My brand, again, 7 cents a load. Seventh Generation, $11.19 for 66 loads, which is 17 cents a load. So do you want to keep spending more than 50% over than what you should? I don't know. Fabric softener, my brand, $6.49 for 100 sheets. This brand, all natural, plant-based, great. These sheets are $5.99 for 40 sheets. Which one would you rather buy? I don't know. Just asking. The biggest mistake we make is listening to misinformation and lack of awareness. And I know today the world is full of misinformation. Who do we believe? Who do we know? What do we trust? Who do we trust? Well, it's just lack of awareness and education. And we could do a lot better job at taking care of ourselves without having to rely on the government to do things for us. But let's just stop thinking that if it's on the shelf in the store, it must be safe. Can we do that? Can we agree to that? Just not accepting just whatever's brought to us. And of course, we've already kind of hinted on this, emotional and psychological factors that keep us doing things even though we know they're not good for us. Well, we just get comfortable. Over time, we get comfortable in life with our patterns and our habits, and we don't want to make a change because change isn't always easy, and we have to actually put forth an effort to try to make some change in our lives. And that scares the shit out of people sometimes. So stop being afraid of making a change. It's really not that scary. And it's better for the earth and better for you to make some of these changes. So in conclusion, thank you for listening to my research today. I hope it kind of opened up to our eyes to a few things, what we want to accept and what we don't want to accept for future generations. I'm a 2-time ovarian cancer survivor. I'm here on borrowed time. So my purpose is to give value to the rest of the people here on the planet while I have the time left to make a difference. And I'm telling you, changing your habits is not a bad thing. It's not scary. It's worth the effort. Let's just make the world a better place. Hey, that's all I have for you today. And I hope you got some benefit and some value out of this video today. And hey, peace and love. Here's my love. Stay strong, stay resilient, and stay out of trouble. Till next time, see you again on Beth Talks. Bye. Hey, thanks for watching today. Make sure you don't forget, like, share, and subscribe before you scroll on. Peace out.